The Bounty Hunters. Oh joy, another half-dead bounty left at our doorstep. How nice. The Hat mutters as he picks up the note left on the badly beaten Greater Plains Nagasha woman to turn it around and find a poem on the back. Roses are red, violets are blue. I like you. Let's fuck. Soul of a poet, your stalker. Think it's the girl you threw into a wall? Vexa? Mr. T asks. Bet your ass it is. The Hat remarks as he turns the poem over the other side. Poetry skills aside, she at least knows I'm not a cheap date. 100,000 credits for this woman. The price a child molester responsible for several maimings in her escape from the law gets. They really know how to pick them, Mr. T remarks as he hefts up the heavy woman and tosses her over his shoulder. It takes a little axiom to do it without strain. You need to talk to your girl. Saying nothing after one gift is a little off, twice is just plain rude. True enough? You sure you got that girl? The Hat asks, and Mr. T nods as he grabs more of the Nagasha's tail. Yeah, just remember to call in backup if you start getting in over your head, lover boy, Mr. T says, and calmly drags the pedophile through the doorway and into the stasis chambers. When the Nagasha next wakes up, it will be in a jail cell in the jurisdiction of the people she hurt. He adjusts his hat and slightly turns the clasp on the band and activating the tracking beacon, but not the distress beacon. A slight tug of his jacket and he feels the hidden weapons move a little and starts walking forward. His eyes scan the area and he notices the reflection of a large figure not too far away. A few steps and he quickly darts around and swings around the corner to cut off Vexa's little retreat. You were a lot bolder in the arena. I was trying to pin you down and conquer you. Wooing is so much stranger, it's hard. The living 10-foot weapon of teeth, claws, plasma-resistant fur, and sheer muscle in a ridiculously female form protests. He can barely see her face past her gigantic chest, and he knows that through that fur she's blushing. A blooded killer, an arena fighter, and she's shy in front of a boy she likes. Wow. Really? So just talking to me is hard? Yes, but you're doing it now. Just fuck already, another Crimson Hewer screams from nearby. Can it, or I put you through a bulkhead? The Hat barks at them. What does, one of them asks. It means be quiet or I get violent. Threaten a girl with a good time, why don't you? Is all the response his threatening brings them, and he sighs in frustration. Twice now you've left propositions on the bodies of beaten opponents for me. It's clear as day you want me. So there's something you need to know. Here it comes! One of Vexa's friends from nearby gushes, and the Hat slowly turns to glare at them. Keep it quiet or you're going out the airlocks and I'm not going to do the courtesy of opening them first. He threatens them. No damaging the station, smartass. A voice clearly out of the EFL says from nearby, and the Hat scans the area. And where the hell are you? He demands crossly. Near. How many people are watching this? A lot. Oh, that really helps. Actual number, soldier. Sir, I don't know, sir. If you think this is bad, then I could... Vexa begins. No, we're hashing this out now. You've made your intentions clear, so I need to make mine clear as well. The Hat says, and Vexa nods. All right. The long and short of things is that myself and the rest of the Chainbreaker crew will be leaving in a few months. If you want an actual long-term relationship, then you'll have to come with us on the ship. Holy shit, is he proposing to her? One of the nearby Crimson Hewers exclaims. Excuse me, Vexa says, before suddenly charging off and barreling right into the nearby group with a roar. The Hat just casually walks up and doesn't bother turning the corner to directly witness the violence, but he's got a good view of it through reflective maintenance panel on the far wall. There are claws out, but no weapons. Some blood seems to be flying, but it's otherwise a friendly match. No weapons have been drawn, so he's fairly sure it's friendly. Need some help in there? The fight instantly pauses, some of the girls mid-swipe at his call. Vexa says. Anyways, the crew I'm on moves to where the work is, and our stay on Octarine Spin will be our longest yet in any one place. There's nothing anyone can do to keep me from leaving with the chain breaker, but there's nothing stopping you from coming with us. The ship has a lot of internal living space that we're still upgrading from when it was a slaver ship, but there's room enough for many, many people. But you're bounty hunters. Nowhere near as fun as being a mercenary, Vexa says, stalking over and leaning over the corner to see him below her. A bounty hunter is a mercenary that's much more proactive looking for work. We don't wait for the jobs to come to us, we go to them. We've taken mercenary work and helped clear out entire camps, bases, and even organizations in a single night. We've hunted animals so gigantic that they're credible threats to starships, to say nothing of how often the criminals of the week that we hunt are not to be underestimated. Vexa's a crimson hewer. She won't give that up, one of the girls shouts as the small crowd of black and dark red furred canidors rush up to crowd the mouth of the alleyway they'd been brawling in seconds prior in a show of solidarity. What exactly are the crimson hewers? I know you're a mercenary clan, but what does that even mean? The Hat asks. Well, it's an extended family, some by blood, most by adoption. The younger girls dye their fur black and red, and the elders are allowed to express their own colors. We're together. Nothing's as strong as a Canador, so we stay with Canador. Everything and everyone else just breaks, Vexa explains. When we wear our armor, we're unified and ready for a war, because that's what Canador are for. Another of the Crimson Hewers exclaims, "We're ladies of battle and strength, taking only the best jobs and the ones that interest us. We're unbeaten in the field. Anyone crazy enough to try are laid low in response. Except for me, it seems." The Hat cuts off whatever bit of self-aggrandization is coming next. These girls are no doubt fresh recruits. He should have known as Vexa was looking for patterns to paint on her armor. A veteran would already have those kinds of patterns, no doubt. I heard about that. The older girls took a look at you guys and came back all smiles just a little while ago. What did you do? What I had to, no more, no less. The Hat remarks. Why are we even doing this to begin with? It's Vexa that's fixated on him. Because we swore to share a husband, and if you won't help me get our husband, then you're out of the deal. Vexa snaps at the complainer. That's unfair, she whines. No, it's fair. The Hat adds in just to stir the pot a little. The whole half-dozen of over-muscled murder machines pause and lean out so that all of them can get a good look at him. He offers a cheeky grin. These girls aren't in their armor. It'll only take a touch of axiom to completely even the playing field. Then his considerably smaller size puts him under most of their attacks and the advantage squarely in his corner. Why don't we just grab him and go? There's 7 of us, 1 of him. You volunteering to lose a limb then? The Hat asks casually as he reaches up to tap the clasp on his hat as he adjusts the headwear. A single button is pressed for a single moment. The message is sent. Send them in quiet. Go on. He's not that tough. One of them goads. Yes, he is. Tang says from nearby, and the Hat smirks. He really is. Dong remarks from somewhere above. You boys are getting quick. The Hat remarks as he suppresses a laugh. How many of you are here? Vexa asks, and the Hat shrugs. More than 2, Dong remarks, and Tong chuckles. Ladies, the Hat begins. As amusing as all these arguments and posturing is, we do need to get to a point. One I'd like someone to make sometime soon. I suspect it's Vexa who's been leaving the bounties outside the chain breaker for me to find, as well as the poetry. You have my attention, and if nothing else, good manners dictate that I offer you a chance in exchange for those gifts. Do you want to take it or not? Yes, I want to take the chance. Come on, we're going on a date, Vexa explains before quickly grabbing the Hat by the arm and dragging him off. Dong and Tong follow closely, but she only carries him to a nearby bar where she sits him on her lap and orders a hard drink for them both as her clan sisters crowd around. Looks like a whole lot of nothing. Tang remarks from above as Dong observes from the shadows of a doorway across the street. Maybe, maybe not. They're not the smartest bunch, but who knows exactly how stupid they might get with some drinks in them. You have read the medical scans on Canador, right? Dong asks into his communicator. Bossman made it required reading when Onyx joined up. 1 mega kidney and a liver. That's all she wrote for toxin resistances. We haven't tested them, but they're suspected to be weaker than our own, despite Onyx keeping up fairly well with our food. She avoids the hard stuff with a passion, something these girls aren't doing. In a galaxy where youth is a choice of fashion, the difference between the young and old is experience alone. Tang remarks in a slightly wizened tone. Dong just snorts in amusement. Well then, behold as 7 bimbos age 20 years before our very eyes. The men snort in amusement and watch as the hat buys the next round and throws it back with ease, even as the girls start plying him with stories. Seems to be going well, Tang remarks. Think they actually understood the terms he set out? Dong asks. Who knows? I have a hard enough time figuring out human women. I'm not even trying to understand literal aliens, let alone land shark lion bimbos. Can I just say that I love how word salad the descriptions around the galaxy are? Word salad? Weird way of saying completely freaking insane. Tang remarks and Dong smirks. Turn of phrase, nothing more. By the way, did you spot it? Dong asks. The older and more experienced Crimson Hewers watching their juniors and giggling like schoolgirls. No, I haven't. What's it look like? Tang asks, and Dong mentally concedes that asking if the sniper saw something is in the camp of a stupid question. Okay, fair enough. What's your opinion on them? They're not in armor, and from what the hat was able to get out of these girls, that's a good sign. They're not Crimson Hewers if they're not in some kind of armor, meaning that these girls are not only peaceful but intending to stay that way. Actually, that's just for the junior Crimson Hewers, the reckless young girls who haven't even seen a century of combat. A new voice says over the communicators. How long have you been listening? Dong asks. The entire time. What? You think you're the only ones worried about your own? Your little rule is harsh but fair. After all, expecting a warrior to abandon their way of life for a bit of entertainment is just foolish. But asking the girls to leave isn't? Tang asks curiously. Crimson Hewer sects divide all the time. So long as the traditions are kept, then you can be a Crimson Hewer by yourself and entire systems away from the nearest clan sister. We're a way of life, much like bounty hunting or being undaunted. Tang, I hate it when we're not the only smart ones around. Dong laments to the amusement of their watchers. Dude, shut up. Tang says over the laughter of the elder hewers. The horizontal, 230 vertical, Dong says, and Tang looks to his right and up as described on the double clock. I see her, yellow fur, jet black highlights, prominent scar across the lips. Tang reads out and the laughter stops. Very good. How'd you spot me? The Crimson Hewer asks curiously. The levity is gone. Look to your left, ma'am. You'll see a reflection of a reflection. In that reflection is a shadow. Ah, of course. I was told exactly where you are, but you're still hidden enough that I missed that. Well done. It's only practical. Speaking of practical, it looks like the hat is getting a practical lesson on how grabby young Canador women are. Dong says with an amused tone, and the laughter comes back over the comms. There's a slight vibration in Dong's pocket and he pulls out a smaller, much more limited communicator. Text only. I got their frequency bike.